Hi, it's Ed with SideDrive. This time it's about transforming scheduling from the idea of it being an administrative reporting tool, something we have to do, to something that is the core of managing a construction site, so production planning and management tool. I'll tell you a real life story from one of our clients, from one of our client projects, and what we found out when we started adding a level of detail. We talk a big game about adding level of detail, reducing the throughput time, and increasing the quality of construction. And it's true, but I want to go into a bit more detail what it requires as a mindset. This is a project. It's illustrative floor plan. It could be a hospital. It could be an office, divided into four zones. Could be one floor in four zones. And it's a very typical way to start adding detail. Reduce the batch size by zoning it out. And we started planning a tacked production schedule to such a project. And we started going through, okay, in the first zone, what do we first, second, what do we do third, and so on. We laid out the plan. And we got a nice looking schedule. The problem is that it took around 2 hours for one of the foremen to speak up and say, that's not really how we do it, but we don't have to put in the details because it would look really complicated. It wouldn't look pretty anymore. It wouldn't be the nice stacked schedule that we're used to seeing. And we stopped there and we started asking, what does this mean in practice? So, for example, we had planned that the walls of the offices or exam rooms alongside the walls will be set up first one side, then we'll put in some filling, we'll put in take care of the electric and so on installation within the walls. But they said that we don't actually put up the whole wall. We put up a part of the wall first, then we do other stuff, and later we put up the higher parts and so on. So it's not really as clinical. Plus, we don't do all the walls. We just do the hallway walls, not the rooms, and so forth. So we found out that this zone thinking, where different kinds of locations reside within a zone, it doesn't really get us the level of detail that we need for us to trust that we have a schedule that represents what we will actually do. It looks nice, but then it's kind of up to the site crew to figure it out later, add in all the details. So the comments, we don't do the whole drywall yet. We do the tops, rest is later. We need to circle back to the hallways. We'll actually probably do them far before the rooms. The bathrooms aren't really shown in the schedule at all. We hadn't planned them yet, but maybe we should leave them outside because they'll be a bit messy. We don't even know what we're going to do yet. Let's figure it out later. And this kind of thinking really sets us up to surprises, write-offs, and issues down the line. The way we then changed our approach is we started thinking which areas have a similar process, and we started mapping out what will we actually do in detail digitally into SideDrive. And as a result, they've been very happily relying on the schedule as a means to discuss with the subcontractor how exactly will we do this. How do they see it? How should they resource their work? Do we have things in the right order? Because if we keep the level of detail too high, we ignore all the uncomfortable details that actually define what will happen, and then we just deal with those on the run, and that's trouble. So once we start adding detail, the first thing we have to do is start thinking about, is this the actual production plan, or is this just a schedule that looks nice? And we have to challenge ourselves long enough to get to the details, the uncomfortable truth of how messy it is. Once we start planning and scheduling that, then we know what's going to happen, and then we will be much more efficient. This is what we do for a living, so let us know if you would like a demo. Ask us to discuss, and we'll be happy to go further and show what this looks like in SideDrive face to face. Thank you very much.